Hello everyone and welcome to Neo Racing League for round 2 of the season. We are here at the Yas Marina circuit tonight for our first sprint weekend of the season. Heading under the hotel now. On the exit gets a massive swapper as we go through that the territory corner of the circuit into the penultimate and the final corner. It isn't the cleanest, but he does a 23.5 and puts himself into P6. Exactly a second off pole position for the session.
We've got three drivers that haven't done a lap. So Gary is retired. Neo, I think, is just coming up to finish off, coming around the second to last corner, coming up to the final corner now. Oh, a bit too much on the curb there. That's not going to be a great time. 24.0. And then March Meister has just gone in at P5 with a 23.2. So everyone has now finished. So, oh no, Rampant Gamer has now finished as well. It didn't improve.
Oh, JPS is on a lap, but he's quarter second down heading into sector 3, and he will not improve on his time. And like that is sprint quali over in 12 minutes. That is a very quick quali session. You've just got to be on it in this session, and that would allow DJTT in the V carb to take pole position. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for a 10-lap sprint race, and it's lights out, and away we go as DJTT gets a decent start. JPS falls behind it shoot fizzle as he goes around the outside. The Aston Martin moves his way into P2. JPS drops down to P3. There's been a bit of contact behind as TTV has dropped down to last place. As we go down towards the end of sector 1, the McLaren of Marcel is looking to make a move on the Mercedes. The Mercedes has dropped 2 positions straight off the line there, and now he's about to drop 3 as the Mercedes is now losing out to Rampant Gamer down the straight. No DRS as of this moment as we keep going down further and further into the breaking point we go, and that's a massive dive from the McLaren. Excellent job there. He keeps it clean though with the Aston Martin, who actually gives him room. Didn't need to give him room there, but the Aston Martin certainly done so. Marcel on an absolute charge through the first 2 sectors there. Yeah, he's going to be absolutely under pressure now because that attack from Marcel has opened up the door for our last time out race winner, Shoot Fizzle, and JPS in the Mercedes. Here comes Shoot Fizzle, Marcel, DJT, all 3 wide as we get an awful camera angle there. As they're all going to go side by side. There's contact there from Marcel and DJT. DJT drops down the order, and that has completely changed the complexion of the race. Marcel is now leading the way as Shoot Fizzle goes up the inside. Our race leader from Las Vegas is going to try and get the race lead in the sprint in Abu Dhabi. Around the outside, it'll turn for the triple right-hander, but the McLaren gets enough of the run to send it into the breaking point and manage to keep the position. We got an awful camera angle there, but we did just about see that instant happen, as now the RB has dropped down to P6 and out of the sprint points at this stage. The Mercedes is now has got a 2/10 advantage over Shoot Fizzle, but for how much longer? That DRS for the Aston Martin, will it be enough? I don't think he's looking to get by at this stage. Meanwhile, Marcel is looking to get by for P2. He goes around down the inside, and Shoot Fizzle can't really do too much there. He'll cut back to the inside though for the triple right-hander. There's contact, there's banging of wheels, but they're still side by side through into the hotel section. This is JPS's chance to guarantee race victory, but he can't do enough to get out of that 1 second window while those 2 are side by side. But Shoot Fizzle manages to defend just about.
What Marcel really wants is to slow Shoot down enough just so that he doesn't have the DRS, but then use the DRS to slingshot forward back into Jay's DRS. But this time it looks like Shoot's had a really good sector 1. He's back on the charge of that Mercedes. Let's have a look and see what happens through this DRS zone. He's got the inside. He's got a much better run there through the corner. He's a little bit of contact on the exit, and it looks like the Mercedes got a much better run. Is that going to mean that the McLaren behind is going to have an even better run? It looks like they're going to be all very, very close up into the hairpin. Here goes Marcel. He's up the inside of the Aston Martin. Is he going to have a go at the Mercedes? He's going to consider it. He's not been able to do anything about the Mercedes, but he's back on the outside of the Aston Martin. There's a little bit of contact, and there goes Shoot, because he's caught the inside of that McLaren, that's going to put him at risk to DJDT.
Yes, as we head on to the final lap of the race, they're through turn 1 and turn 2. This could be the opportunity for the Aston Martin as
Big oversteer.
the McLaren's rear tyres are about to go off. The Aston Martin down the straight, back straight towards the hairpin. Can he get the move done? He will have DRS though if he makes this move, because he was behind in a DRS detection. But it seems like the McLaren is running out of options here. The Aston Martin down the straight, DRS, ERS, and he gets by. But Marcel will have DRS for that back straight there once more. But is his tyres too far gone?
As an absolutely huge look up from the Aston Martin there. The McLaren goes wide. He's going to have the DRS, and so is the Aston Martin on the Mercedes. But I don't think the McLaren's going to be having anything to do. As you know, forget that, because he's just got up the inside. Can he hold that? The outside line can be beneficial here, so it could bring the Aston Martin back in. The Aston Martin stayed around the outside. He's going to have the inside for the triple right-hander, and they made contact again in the braking zone, and it looks like the Aston Martin has made it through. It is now very difficult to make any kind of manoeuvres around sector 3, but so it might be all said and done, but don't call out any kind of moves now, because up the inside looks Marcel, but it doesn't look like he's going to have anything there to do. JPS gets the win.
Yeah, excellent job from JPS, perfectly managed in those last couple of laps. The Mercedes wins the sprint race for the second for Abu Dhabi. A couple of drivers are coming round to Gary Gato goes off at the final corner. He's invalidated his lap time, so he will not be improving at this stage. We will go on with this guy Neo. Oh, that's not the right one. This guy Neo, who's currently on a lappy 6.5 seconds down. So we try and find someone else. Rampant Gamer, is he on a lap? I believe he is. Going through sector 3. Can a Ferrari make the improvements necessary to climb himself up the table as we go round that final couple of corners? Where does Rampant Gamer put himself? Up towards the line, 22.7, puts himself P2, slots himself between the Sauber of Gary and Shoot Fizzle, 300ths behind the Aston Martin. Very good lap there from the Ferrari, but JPS coming up to the line, puts himself P3. That is 4 drivers within a 10th at the moment. Could we make it 5? As we've got Marchmeister, who is on a lap. Currently in P11, and that's the fastest time for Shoot Fizzle. Goes a little bit quicker to extend his advantage. Can Marchmeister top it? No, he can't. He goes P6 23.1, slots himself behind the McLaren of Marcel, as David is the last driver on a lap going round the final couple of corners. Can Alpine improve from P8? Up towards the line he goes, 23.2. He does improve, but he doesn't improve his position. I said that will leave Shoot Fizzle with pole position as our race leader from Las Vegas has set himself up very nicely for the second round in Abu Dhabi. So we're going to go 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for Neo Racing League, and it's lights out of the way. We go for round 2 of Rampant Gamer did not get the best of starts there, so he slots in behind Shoot Fizzle as he maintains his lead. JPS maintains P3 ahead of Gary Gator, Marcel Marchmeister, all's line of Sterling in the top 6. However, this guy now has made his way up to P10 ahead of Pump Mantis. Now we're going to go down towards the hairpin. There's side-by-side action between the 3 wide there, actually, between Gary Gator and Marcel and Marchmeister as they go. JPS has dropped down to P6. Marcel doing what he done in the sprint race and coming through a couple of positions. They're going to go 2 and 3 behind as there's going to be 3 wide into the chicane. Can TTVS get ahead of the Mercedes driver? Yes, he can. Marchmeister has dropped down to P8 behind David in the process. Rampant Gamer is right on the back of the McLaren. Continuing on now, going down straight, he will have DRS, he will be able to get by, but will it be 3 wide? It will be 3 wide as the Ferrari has a little bit of contact there with the McLaren. Thought the McLaren's front wing was completely out of sight. He couldn't, there was a lunge to get away with it, but that while that has made him allowed him the lead, that has lost him momentum in the chance to get away, because the McLaren is now coming back at the Ferrari. He takes the lead once more. The Aston Martin around the outside for P2. Can he make the move stick? As yes, he does. As Shoot Fizzle back into the front running two positions. Yeah, it's a long race. We're basically halfway through what the sprint race was at this stage. So we've got a significantly longer time to get everything done and dusted here. You'll see this with everyone's driving, because they're not pushing to the extent they were in the sprint. Shoe Fizzle down the inside into the chicane. Marcel runs a bit wide there though, and however that has allowed him to get back a bit of a run into the second part, continue to be alongside. But we come into the shot now as Shoot Fizzle looks to take the lead. Marcel has now dropped position, not just to Rampant Gamer, to Gary Gator as well. The Sauber has moved his way up to P3, but the Ferrari is trying to make a move on the Shoot Fizzle, and he unfortunately doesn't manage to do so, as there's a bit of contact there. JPS trying to send it up the inside of both Marcel and Gary Gator, and that was a very clumsy move there from the Mercedes. He drops down to P7 as everyone is in this train.
Heap of positions that have changed in the past like 3 corners.
And there's another side bomb from DJT. Sorry, I cut in, but Gary Gator has now dropped down position, and DJT massive dive bomb there. That might be looked at by the shooters. This guy Neo then has a problem with the Sauber getting dive bomb left, right and centre here, but he's managed to get back through and now put himself in P3 as TTV and Marcel both come to the pits for regular pit stops. And Marcel's retired.
Marcel and the Red Bull have just driven straight into the pit lane. They've just driven straight into the pit lane wall.
They completely missed their turning point, and that's completely turned the race on its head. Safety car's been deployed. Safety car will be in this lap. You've got to be prepared to shoot Fizzle. Safety car is in the lap. This lap, you need to make sure you're not talking to me. You're focused on that racetrack. So half the race to go. Can Aston Martin pull away, or will the Alpine manage to get by, or will even the Mercedes get by? It's going to be all pedal to the metal as we go around for the next lap of lap 12. Now, just a bit of waiting. Stick, would you like to take us away from this one?
Yeah, right. Right. Shoot is now backing up the rest of the pack around the hotel section. I was going to say castle section, just the wrong track. Penultimate corner now. Everyone just waiting for that last moment, and he's gone. No, it was a bit of a dummy. He's now gone. Right, TTV going to be right on the back of that gearbox of that Aston Martin, coming up to around the first corner now. Is there going to be anything going on further behind? It doesn't look like it. It looks like everyone's made it cleanly through that restart.
Shoot TTV going to the inside. Can the Alpine get by? Yes, he does. Shoot Fizzle doesn't fight it too hard into there. However, gets very close to the rear end of the Alpine. Gets a good look at that diffuser. DRS though for the man in P2. Could it be returned to P1? Around the outside he will look. Around the outside he will go. To the outside, the Alpine tries to defend, but the Aston Martin speed around there is just a little bit too great. There's a bit of contact there as the Alpine's round. They've gone into the side of each other, and that is absolutely devastating for that Alpine, and now has dropped all the way down the order to P8. Absolutely distraught for him.
Gary setting the new fastest lap of the race now, but the Aston Martin is looking as strong as ever. Never mind Ali Star. This is the first thing we've seen from the Red Bull this race. There we go, fastest lap there, 1:25.1 was that. We're all going 3 wide. Hang on, we're going 3 wide into this. Is the end of sector 1? What was going on? Well, this is unreal. The JPS up into P2 now. He's going to have DRS on the mystery machine. No, he's not, because they both went through the detection point at the same time. Here comes the Aston Martin. He's got the DRS. Both of them go past Gary Gator. coming up into the first hairpin in the chicane now, and it looks like Shoot's going to be in the best position this lap.
Yeah, Shoot looks like absolutely primed to get to the race lead. He's going to go to the inside, though. It's going to be a different move to what he tried on the Alpine a couple laps ago, but he will take the lead from JPS and reclaim his lead that he lost a couple laps ago. Managed the gap, kept it nice and easy for himself this time round. Actually, there's a bit of a contact. Marchmeister is out of the session. I'm not entirely sure what has happened there. We'll quickly go on board with Verkel, who sees a massive load of damage off that horse before it disappears. And that has caused the safety car to bunch the field back up, a founder of the league out of the race in the second round. And that is absolutely devastating there from the Haas. Safety car is in this lap. It's very late into the safety car. So these guys have now got to get ready to go as we go once more around the final couple of corners. They will come. When the shoot whistle go? When he go early? When he go late? We're about to find out. It's not really no sort of weaving at this stage. He's just waiting for the perfect moment to go. He goes now. As we see, the car's bogged down, just trying to get the power down as quickly as possible. As Shoot Fizzle gets a massive amount of oversteer. Not Shoot Fizzle, JPS gets a massive amount of oversteer. That's allowed Rampant Gamer to go at the inside. There's a bit of contact there on the inside there. Rampant Gamer getting away with it, but he has lost a couple of positions. This has allowed Rootsy Cola and Gary Gator to get through. As Gary is actually going to make a move for P3 down towards there. Massive load of lock up there from the Sauber. And actually, he's gone back ahead of him. I think there might have been a bit of game lag there. And DRS are now enabled for the Sauber. He's going to have quite an easy time with things down in terms of that DRS down towards the chicane. He makes the move pretty easily, and there's not much there. It's all said and done, as he's going to have massive amounts of grip over his Aston Martin rival, and that has really cost Shoot a potential race victory. As now we go down towards the end of sector 2. This is where the Sauber will absolutely shine. He's not going to have any sort of competition here in terms of pace. TTV, yes, Rampant Gamer going side by side around the outside. The hairpin as Alpine pushes Rampant Gamer out wide. The Ferrari comes back on track, and he makes and decides he's just going to take the position. No questions about it. As the Alpine just sends it. That's absolutely ridiculous there from TTV. Yes, they're both here, there and everywhere, on, off the track, in every way, shape or form. But the Ferrari keeps position. TTV, yes, 3-second time penalty added to his tally. And now this is really starting to add up for the Alpine, who might lose a couple more positions by the end of this race, despite having an impressive pace.
Ooh, big crash.
Big
it's going to
crash.
be another safety car, I think.
Yeah, another safety car. Big crash between TTVS and Rampant Gamer. It is all starting to come to a head. Does Shoot Fizzle pit? Because it might be best for him to.
Yes,
Some said.
Has to.
No, he doesn't. He stays out. JPS stays out. Ali Star stays out. And that...
JPS drive-through penalty.
Speeding under safety car. That's cost our fifth place man, in the standings at the moment. Unless Shoot Fizzle can do something absolutely extraordinary. Gary Gator's your favourite. You've got to now wait. What can these drivers do? When can these drivers go? As we wait round in the penultimate corner. When does Gary can just go whenever he has the speed? He does. He goes now, as he now goes into that final corner. Can that's actually
that grip.
Yeah, that grip is ridiculous in comparison, and that is very much where it's all said and done. He's got to hope his tyres. Let's just hope his tyres haven't gone through something like a cheese grater, because all of a sudden, if it comes back to him, he might end up with something later on. But second up pole mediums, they're quite far in. Yes, they've had a couple laps on a safety car. They are fairly far in for mediums. They did start to die off in a couple laps, so they might struggle towards the end. This guy Neo has made his way up to P3 at this stage. As now we go into the chicane. He does it well before the chicane. Rampant Vockel, in the Ferrari, out of nowhere, comes into the battle for P3. He tries to make a move on Rootsy Cola for P4, but he couldn't do so. He has to back out as we go down the straight now towards the hairpin. Nothing happening up between the top two, but around the outside goes the Ferrari of Vockel. and the Williams actually makes a bit of contact, just understeers into the Ferrari, and he almost pushes the Ferrari off track there. Goes into the triple right-hander. No contact, please, gentlemen, as they don't make any more contact, but the Ferrari moves his way up to P4. They are nose to tail here as we go on to the penultimate lap. Can the Aston Martin do anything against this Sauber? Can the Mercedes do anything against the two in front of him? As it's about to kick off, this guy Neo to the inside on the exit of turn 3, but Shoot Fizzle managing to just boost power into a defensive position there. And now onto the back straight. As Gary Gator's got a little bit more of a gap than he did in the previous lap, but Shoot is going to come closer and closer to the inside. He defends as Aston Martin goes around the outside into the chicane. 3 seconds for Gary absolutely distraught as the Shoot's race lead has all of a sudden become supremely likely, as he's now battling with 2 guys for penalties. Around the outside goes Gary into the hairpin. Can he make the move stick? Shoot Fizzle has defended that beautifully as we only have a lap and a half to go. Gary, who looked like the guy to go on to race with only about a handful of laps to go, has now turned into the unlikely candidate. Shoot Fizzle has done an excellent job as we go under the hotel. He's got Neo trying to make any sort of move. Down the inside goes Gary Gator, but it's turned to a defence against the Mercedes. He's going to get a cutback though. The Aston Martin not able to do too much there. He will have the DRS. There goes the Sauber down towards the hairpin. It's going to be Vuckel though, who's going to try and make a move on the Mercedes, and the Sauber goes through for the race lead one final time as we go down past the DRS line. Vuckel is going around the outside of the Mercedes. He will make the move for the podium, and he'll do it on track. But he may make it P2 if he can just keep his nose clean through his final couple of corners. Gary, unfortunately for him, will have to settle for P2. And while he'll win on track, it's Shoot Fizzle will come around the final corner and take victory on penalties. Gary wins on track. Fizzle wins on penalties. The Sauber Aston Martin makes it 2 for 2 and wins the second race of the season. Vuckel comes home in P2 after a very quiet race from him, and Gary has to settle for P3, and that was an epic race.
Just going to run you through the stewards' reports and the findings, and then the final results of the season 4 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in the Neo Racing League Zone Sprint qualifying. Gary Gator picked up 2 penalty points for retiring on track. In Grand Prix qualifying, he did exactly the same thing. And he picked up 2 more penalty points. In the Grand Prix, we have DJTT picking up 2 penalty points for pulling out of the race halfway through the session. And then another penalty point going, this time JC's way, for contact between himself and Rampant Gamer. Rupsicola picked up 2 penalty points and a 10-second penalty for a collision with Marchmeister. And then the big ones, this guy Neo and Gary Gator, both picking up, losing 3 seconds worth of penalties because of appeals they made against the in-game penalties, which means that the final Neo Racing League results stand as follows. In the sprint, JPS took the victory ahead of Shoot Fizz in second, with Marcel in third. DJTT 3 seconds off, and then this guy Neo a whole 10 seconds off the race lead. Those are your points finishers for the sprint, with the fastest lap going to DJTT. In the race itself, Gary Gator ended up taking the victory because of that appeal, which took him to the full 20 points home, plus the fastest lap of the race. Shoot Fizz came second after a pole position. Then Vakuli picked up the final place on that podium, under a second behind the race victor. This guy Neo finished in fourth, with Rupsi Cola in fifth, Alistar in sixth, and then the final finisher JPS in seventh, and therefore the final points went his way. In the championship, Shoot holds the lead, and it's a commanding one at the top of the standings, 37 points ahead of Gary Gator in second on 20. In third is JPS, who has under half of Shoot Fizz's points. Then it's Rupsi Cola, Bombia, Marchmeister, and Vakuli, and then this guy Neo, Alistar, and Nutria rounded up the top 10, with the other points finishers David, Hamflap Kelly, Marcel, and DJTT. In the constructors, Aston Martin have a total of 40 points. 37 coming from the Shoot Fizz, and 3 coming from Hamfap Kelly. Second place is Mercedes with 28. Sauber in third. The only point tools so far coming from Gary Gator. Then you've got Williams with their only points hauls coming from Rupsi Cola, RB, Haas, Red Bull, Alpine, and McLaren, with Ferrari yet to get off the mark.